It's Thursday, September 5th, 2019. I'm AJ Grimaldo, and this is the Island Fish Podcast. And you heard that right. We are back. Finally, after a long hiatus, the Island Fish is back. And I gotta tell you, it feels real good to be back. I've been missing this for the longest time. This has been in the works for a while now, coming back. I have a lot of cool ideas, a lot of things, I guess, dancing in my head, swirling in my head, and it's time to bring back the Island Fish Podcast. Now, it's not necessarily going to be the same as it was before. For one thing, instead of doing this every week, initially, it's going to be every 2 weeks. But we're going to keep the same schedule of it dropping on Thursdays, leaning towards anytime Thursday. Whenever I can get it uploaded Thursday, that's when we're going to be dropping these. But it's going to give me a little extra time to edit this. Before we would just record the episode, I'd maybe add in a little music, some sound effects, and then boop, upload it. It's going to give me a little extra time to kind of polish things up and make it a little more presentable than it may have been. If you're just joining me, this isn't a new podcast. This is one that's been going on and off for a couple of years now. When I first started this, it was in a studio in Bangor, Maine. Now it's just kind of in a little makeshift studio I have. So the quality kind of has, at least audio-wise, is fluctuated, but the content, baby, always 100% fuego. So before I introduce our guest today, I want to let you guys know that we are on social media. That way you can keep up with news, events, and all sorts of stuff going on, and make sure you are the first ones to know about it. So you can follow us on Instagram at Island Fish Podcast, and you can follow us on Twitter at The Island Fish. You can also follow both my personal accounts on Instagram and Twitter. They are Island Fish AJ, and we're also on Facebook as well. Just type in The Island Fish or The Island Fish Podcast, and I think we're the first one that pops up. Without further ado, I want to introduce someone who has been a staple on the Island Fish Podcast. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. I think he's one of the most funniest people that I've ever met. I love this guy like a brother. We're having my buddy Ethan Roebuck on today. So I'm here with my buddy Ethan. Ethan, it has been far too long since you and I have had a civil conversation. How the hell are you?
Well, man, it's definitely been a hot minute. I don't even remember the last time we talked. Was it when we made a video? Like Golf with Friends or something? Like almost a year ago? Something like that crazy? Something
like that. I know we talked a little bit. Well, we texted when you sent me that drawing game.
Oh yeah, Scribblo, Scribble.io or Scriblio, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was fun. We definitely need to do that again. I had a blast doing that.
Hell yeah.
So, what have you been up to? Like, how's life? How are things?
Things are good. Still living out in Oregon. Moved from Portland, Oregon to Happy Valley. It's like $200, $300 cheaper because living in the inner city is hot garbage. My childhood friend that I've known since I moved to Maine in 2000, so almost 20 years. He moved out here and middle of July, I think, or middle of July he moved out here. So I've been hanging out with him quite a bit, and it's been good to have someone that knows me so well and personally and for so long, because I didn't have that dog. I just had... No,
sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. Just don't you fucking interrupt me. This is my show now.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to the Island Fish, Ethan.
So, you still doing YouTube stuff? I mean, I think the last video I saw of yours was you went to a zoo. I think that's the last one I watched.
Yeah. It's been a little while. I definitely need to get better at it. Let's see, when did I last upload? I went to, it was before I moved, so it was over a month ago. I've been trying to set a schedule and stuff. I still want to make YouTube videos. I still want to do Twitch. I just had a bunch of shit going on with move and work, and my mental health was deteriorating heavily, and it still kind of is in that weird kind of like middle ground where I don't want to admit it's as bad as it is, but it's still like, hey, you should probably go talk to someone.
Well, I'm definitely glad you're doing a little better, because I love you, man. I need you here. I need you to,
yeah, dude, I'm never leaving.
Help me through this. Walk me through this.
Yeah. Oh, August 4th. That's not too bad. Well, that's about a month ago.
Yeah, about exactly a month ago.
That is kind of bad. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I haven't done a podcast almost a year or two, so good you beat.
You know what? If this is a contest, I haven't seen you. Was it when you graduated? No, it couldn't have been when you graduated college.
I think it
was.
It must have been, because I came back for the birthday, which we do not speak of, and I don't think you and I we met up. I think we just missed each other.
I think so too.
No, because I remember, because if you, I don't know if you had just started to move or if you just weren't in town, because for those who haven't heard the story, I was, excuse me, getting a little choked up. I was dating this girl, and I went to see her after I graduated. I stayed at her place. Long story short, we broke up. I ended up driving back to Vermont after. But one of the places I think I originally was going to try to stay at was your place for the night, so I didn't have to drive the 6-something hours to get home. But I don't think you were there, so I just ended up like, fuck it, going home. Got pulled over by a cop.
I remember that. Yeah, because I remember we talked about it. Because I moved on July 25th is when I filled up my car. I spent like a week just packing everything and getting rid of everything. And I think we just barely missed each other, if I remember correctly. Because you're like, yo, I'm going to be in Bangor. And I'm like, oh, because I've been driving across the country.
No. Okay, our timelines don't mesh. Because my birthday is May 16th. So you must have still been in Maine. But I don't know. Maybe you were on a trip or something, or you're with your brother. But I just know, like, I was going to go to your house, and be maybe
that was when I went to the 21.
But you weren't there, so I had to, man up and drive 6 hours.
I think I might have been at the 21 Pilots concert with Caleb then. Maybe.
I think you were at a concert.
Yeah, doing hipster angsty things.
Do you still listen to them?
Sort of. I have their what's the Vessel? I have Vessel, and then Blurry Face. I haven't listened to their newest album, Trench, yet, but I still like those albums for sure. I got super into Pop and the Front Bottoms recently. No idea why. I just started listening to them like fucking crazy. And I went out and I bought 2 of their albums each on vinyl, because I like to waste money to, and have to work to listen to music, because you're like, oh wow, I'm glad those 4 songs are like, ugh. You got to get up and then put your penis away and then walk across the room and be like, okay, flip back over and then sit back down and like, just,
No, I totally hear you. I finally bucked up and bought a record player, and nice. I played a few, but I think mine's too small. That's what she said. I feel like whenever I put like the record on, it always like bumps or it tilts up a little bit. It's like it's not made for what ones I have.
That could be that the turning belt is either a little bit warped, or that it's just a cheaper record player. I know mine does that, where it like kind of like it looks like there's a wave going through the record.
Yeah,
when you hold it up correctly. Yeah,
I'm wondering if it's because I bought it off Amazon. That is just it's probably.
Is it? What's the? Yeah, I bought a Ion record player, and I was like, this is cool, and then I broke it because I bought like a 1920s 45 record, which is like 4 inches thick and has 1 song on it. and it was so heavy that the record player just broke. It literally, like, I played it, I was like, cool, this is neat, and then I went and put on Blink-182, and Tom DeLonge literally sounded like, where are you? And I'm like, that's not how he sounds.
Well, you don't know that. He's been with those aliens for a while now. You could have like a...
True.
He's a deep voice now. Don't waste your time on me.
They're like, you're the guy that believes in us. She's like, thank you. Now my balls can finally drop.
It's sad. Like, I don't know music anymore. Like it's like
yeah.
I DJ, but I don't know music.
Weird flex,
anymore.
but okay.
Yeah, man, I DJ the clubs like chicka chicka ba chicka 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 ba chicka 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 ba. But no, like I'm
sick Sandstorm reference, bro.
But like I remember we did a high school dance maybe like a year ago, and this is when Cardi B first came out, and like these little teeny boppers are coming up to the booth and they're like, oh my god, can you play some Cardi B? And I'm like raising my hand, I'm like, what's a Cardi B? Is that a Pokemon?
Excuse me,
do you mean Bacardi? You can't drink, you're like 5. And they're like, she's like this new singer, she has a song called like Bodiac Yellow, it's like super cool, can you play it for us? I mean, so much if you play it for us. I'm like, I'll get back to you, I gotta listen to this first, because you know you're at the high school and you can't really play any inappropriate songs.
Yeah,
we played it, but it was heavily edited, but it didn't matter because these kids, they knew all the words and they're singing them, and like this teachers are looking at us and I'm like, it's edited, and they're like, oh, we're never hiring these guys again, man. Fun fact, they never did.
I'm trying to think, another thing, like since I moved out to the city, to the West Coast, I worked with it's okay, so hold on, 2 trains of thought are mashing each other like at the same time right now. So okay, on the West Coast, and being in the city, it's more urban than Maine. There's like anytime I'm channel surfing through the radio, there's like your top 40 stations, 4 or 5 urban radio stations, 4 or 5 Spanish stations, and then like 1 country. And I'm like, oh, okay. I knew nothing about the rap music being played. The rap music. I know Old Town Road like everyone does. I know a few of the meme things. I know a few by Post Malone, Juice WRLD, Bozzy, but I know nothing about XXXTentacion, a lot of SoundCloud
Bless you?
people.
Was that a sneeze?
Thank you. Yeah, that was a sneeze. But yeah, I know nothing about music, and one of the only reasons I started getting back into it was because I started listening to Spotify. And I was like, daily mix, because I liked a whole bunch of Blink-182 and Sum 41 and like NoFX, like 90s pop punk and actual punk rock. I'm like, hey, check out these guys. These guys are cool. And it was the Front Bottoms. And I was like, I remember hearing about these guys when I was in college back in the day, and got super into them and really liked their music. But dude, I feel so old. I also work I work with a kid who's a freshman in high school, and a senior in high school, and oh my god.
Well, I want to
fucking die.
I got a story for you. It was my friend Chris, his birthday last week. He turned 30, and Saturday a bunch of us went out. Friday went downtown Burlington, and we went into this one bar, and I swear half the girls in there had to be using fake IDs. There is no way they were over 21. Like, I'm just looking at these girls, and I'm like, the fuck, man, I am old. And I'm only like what, 20? I'm 26, and I'm looking at these girls, and I'm like,
my brother's age.
Jesus Christ, they should be in bed. They should be like at home watching like the Cheetah Girls or something. They shouldn't be out here.
They should be watching Totally Spies.
Partying it up with these old farts like us. And I'm reminded every day too, like I work at a grocery store, and like just the people I work with most days are, sometimes I'm the oldest one on the floor. It's just like
Yeah, I get that, man. I still play Pokemon Go, and like I'll be like, man, I'm too old for this shit. Like 80-year-old grandparents being like, oh, I just caught my 28th Deoxys. I'm like, damn you.
Ready raids hard, man.
Dude, some of them out here are fucking ham, dude. There's one person, she had shinies. She had like 4 shinies of every legendary that they've made available, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, I spend probably about $100 on the game like every 2 weeks. And I'm like, what?
So her social security is going towards Pokemon Go.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's good for
That's
her.
how I want to live. Yeah, good for her. You did great, Gretchen. Your parents fought in the war, and then you just, leaned back and coasted through the whole life, and way to fucking go, Gretchen, you bitch. And I'm like, dude, I just want to complete my Pokedex.
I was so happy when I finally looked at the Pokédex on the game and I had all 151. I was like, this is nice. I can rest. It's like that scene at the end of Infinity Wars where Thanos is just, he sits down and looks upon the world after he did the snap, and he's like, okay, I can rest now. That was me, except without killing everybody.
Yeah,
it's fun for a little bit, and then I just get bored of it. Like, I haven't touched it in, I think, a couple months.
When I lived in downtown Portland, it was way easier. Like, I could literally go outside my apartment and get a gym just by walking across the street. Now where I live, I'm out of the city, so I'm like, I have to cross this bridge by one of the off ramps. Or no, anyway, I have to cross this big intersection to get to the mall, and then walk to the mall, walk through the mall parking lot to get one Pokestop. I'm like, it's not worth it. And then driving out here is just fucking garbage. Oh my god.
Well, it's nice. I have a Pokestop like right outside my house because I live next to a church. Mm-hmm. But like anything else, I have to like walk or drive a good distance. Like if you're a rural person, game's not that fun. That's why I think people tend to move towards spoofing, which is what I did. Because especially since last year, I broke my ankle and I really couldn't do anything. I was stuck in the house pretty much all day. So it's like, you know what? Screw this. If I get banned, I get banned.
I still play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links like fucking crazy on my phone, though.
I have that on Steam. I haven't booted it up in a little bit.
That's on Steam? So the things I have from Steam currently are Slime Rancher, Last Day of June.
You have Slime Rancher?
Dude, I fucking love Slime Rancher.
I love that game so much.
It's so cute. Oh my god. I made it all the way to like the end of the story, and I was like, well, now I don't really want to like dick with anything else, and I feel like I kind of have done everything I can. What else do I have? I have Stick Fight the Game, Battle Block Theater Depth, even Fall Flat, which they added new stuff to.
They have
which we need to play
too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
but I don't know.
And Chris were like, I was like, yo, have you played Human Falls Flat? And he's like, what the hell's that? I'm like, boy, let me show you a thing. And I showed him, I think, your video.
Which one? The world's nice. There was one I uploaded called The World's Quietest Let's Play because our audio didn't record in the footage. So I just was like so mad that for our like third time playing it, for some reason it didn't record our audio. So I just muted. Oh no, it didn't record your audio. It only recorded mine. So like it was just me laughing at nothing, like asking questions and having conversations with no one.
So it's funny you mentioned that because kind of going back to the last time I did a podcast, I had actually brought you in to do the final episode of the Island Fish podcast. We recorded it. I think we talked for like a good 3 hours, and I was super excited. And if people are scratching their head, like, well, I don't remember Ethan on the last episode. Well, there's a reason for that. None of the audio captured. It was just me the entire time.
I remember that.
I was so pissed, and I think that's the last time I tested this out. So that's why I made sure before we started recording that I could hear your audio and I could hear mine.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so pissed, and I think that really just turned me off from doing another podcast for a very, very long time. It's like, God damn, this is the last one. No one even got to fucking hear it.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Gosh.
Kind of tying it back to Pokemon. What are your thoughts on Sword and Shield? Have you been keeping up with any of the information?
A little bit. I don't know, because I know they said there's no national dex, right?
No national dex.
There's no national dex, but I really like the water starter for what they showed so far. The little chameleon thing, but I don't know a lot about it. I also saw some of the other Pokemon, but I'm just kind of curious to know what they do, because I was super on the fence about Sun and Moon, because I'm like, oh cool, it's like a different style, it's a different thing to a point, but you still had to defeat a certain amount of gym leaders or island leaders, and then go fight the Elite Four type deal, and then catch your legendaries. And I really fucking wish they would do something different and be like, okay, it's kind of like free roam. There's like certain regions that have certain Pokemon and certain styles, and like you choose, you choose what region you want to start out in. And you're like, oh, I'm starting out in the water region, so like everything's kind of blue themed, and there's all these water Pokemon here, but I want to go get a grass Pokemon. I have to go to the grass region, and the grass region is like you can't get there because everything's too strong, so you keep getting all your Pokemon defeated or whatever. So you have to go around and go to like a different, like a ground nation or something. And like I just want something different. It was Sun and Moon. It was like a little bit different, and there was so much talking and so much exposition in that game that I was just like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, I just want to go catch a Pokemon. Stop talking.
Totally agree. Like when I first started Sun and Moon, I was like, okay, can we pitter patter, pick up the pace a little bit?
Well, even that too, and they're also like, oh, I'm gonna show you how to catch a Pokemon, show you how to use a item, and I'm like, I wish there could be an option to be like, I've played this since 1998. So
yeah, they need that option.
Fuck off, Game Freak. Like, go away.
But like, geez. Overall, like I thought Sun and Moon was okay, and I got really excited when they announced Ultra Sun and Moon, because from the trailers it looked like, okay, it's gonna kind of be a sequel, kind of like Black and White 2 was. And then when I got the game, I was so disappointed, because it's basically the same game with like a couple new Pokemon in it, and I was like, are you serious? Like, I felt so ripped off getting Ultra Sun and Moon.
That's how I felt. Well, like so far I've liked Pokemon Let's Go. I'm like, oh, it's like kind of different. It's really neat to like replay through some of the red and blue that I sat in the back of the car playing, and it was great to do that. But then it's like, oh, your rival's just super friendly, and like he's not a fucking challenge. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I want someone that will kick the shit out of me like Gary did. Where you accidentally, in the first town before you get to Brock, Cerulean? No. It was the one, it went Pallet Town, and then the one where that guy was like super, guy was like sleeping. He's like, I need my coffee, and you couldn't go past him until you like did something, and then he's like, oh, okay, I got my coffee. Fucking, I remember I went to the left because that's how you went to the Elite Four, and in that version, if you went there, you came across Gary with Pokemon the same level as like Elite Four stuff. So I had like a level 16 War Turtle, and he's like, oh, here's my level 68 Pidgeotto, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I think you're remembering the game wrong. That's not how that went.
I know. Hold on.
Like he had stronger Pokemon, but that initially, you like maybe a couple levels higher than you.
I thought it was a glitch where if you went to the left, he was like, hey, you're gonna take on Elite Four? You're not gonna do that. I don't know. I could have just been 8-year-old me just being like scared and shitless because
every time I've played, if you go to the left, he challenges you, but he only has like 2 Pokemon and they're bound around the same level. I think in yellow yellow's weird because you start with Pikachu and he gets Eevee, kind of like let's go or whatnot. But depending if you lose the first battle in Professor Oak's, and if you go see him during that what we're just talking about, he would have a different evolution when you fought him later in the game. Like I forget what the combination was, but like let's say you beat him at the gym or at Oak's place, then saw him in that little place near the Elite Four, and you beat him there. I think you got like Flareon or something. It was weird. They just dropped some information a little earlier when we're recording, which is at September 4th. They just had a Nintendo Direct today, and they just announced a couple new features. Like I guess there's camping now in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
What?
Yeah, like you can set up a little campsite. It's basically what Pokemon Ami in that petting thing was in Sun and Moon.
Oh, the like island thing?
No, you know how like you could like brush your Pokemon and like feed them and shit. It's kind of like that now, but this time like you can visit your friend's campsite.
Also eat the poop of Onyx.
Yeah. You can also, there's another new thing where you can I guess make curry. They're really scratching the bottom of the barrel for stuff. I think
they have to do something different. Like
so you said you got Let's Go Pikachu.
Let's Go Eevee. I also got Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Party.
How are you liking those other 2 games?
I played a shit ton of Breath of the Wild when I was in Maine because my buddy Foster, who I was staying with, he had to work, so I was like, I'm just gonna lay in this hammock and play it for like 12 hours straight. So like 3 days in a row I played it, so that's 36 hours. I just ran around and explored. I loved it. And then the Super Mario is super fun.
Did you get a regular
Super
Switch
cute.
or the Switch Mini?
I got a regular Switch so I could actually play it with other people because of the like Switch lights. I was like, oh, that's stupid. When they're like, oh, it's going to be smaller, I'm like, oh, cool. It's $100 cheaper. Even better. But you can't take off the joysticks, and if like you want to play with someone else, they either have to have a Switch or a Switch Lite. And I'm like, no. I'll pass.
I definitely, if I do get a second Switch, I'm not giving up my old one just because it's like the launch model, and I guess those ones you can hack and like mod.
Yeah, my coworker Kevin's like, I want a Gen 1 because I want to like mod the fuck out of it. I was like, that's fair. I get it.
I'd only do that though if I had a second one where I knew my shit was safe. Because just doing it now, I feel like I get banned and be like, oh, okay, it was a good run. Can't play games anymore.
They just be like, you're a bad man.
You're a bad man.
Bad man.
What do you think of watermelons?
Watermelons?
Yeah, watermelons.
I think they're good. I like watermelon tea. I like watermelon beer. It's all yummy. What do you think of cantaloupe?
Not a fan.
What the fuck?
I'm more of a honeydew kind of guy.
Honeydew? Oh yeah. So when I was dating the water buffalo, she came over and
wait. Hold on, back the fuck up.
What's up?
Chat me up. Who the hell's the water buffalo? You don't have to say names. But
it's she was the one before the crazy. She was the one before and after the crazy one. Do you remember the one?
We won't use names, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the one that was before and after her that I dated for like 4.5 years. The first time she came over and met my mom had made like a summer fruit salad, which was honeydew and cantaloupe and I think blueberries, and yeah, delicious. And fucking, I remember like a month later, she was like, so I have a confession. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, I don't like cantaloupe or honeydew. I'm like, but you ate so much. Like, because mom kept giving her stuff. I was like, oh no.
Christ. What have you been watching, man? What have you been doing?
I've been watching a bunch of anime because I'm a weeb, because I signed up for Crunchyroll and VRV or Verb. On Netflix, I have been working through a bunch of shows. Let's see, I'll go to my list. Broadchurch is always good because David Tennant is, oh my god, he's
goddamn right.
Hinterland, Slasher, The Sinner, yeah, Broadchurch, Mindhunter, Black Mirror, Glitch, The 100, Peaky Blinders. I was unemployed for a year, so I watched like a shit ton of Netflix. Oh god, there's so much. But yeah, I started watching a bunch of anime because I pretty much worked through everything. Oh, Ash vs. the Evil Dead is great. If you've seen that.
I saw the first season when it was on, I think, Showtime?
Netflix.
I forget which one it was on.
It was on Stars.
That's what it was, Stars. I remember watching that, but I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Yeah, no, they're good. There's so many things. So many things I've watched.
Have you dabbled into any other content on Verb besides anime?
No.
Okay, I highly recommend, if you have time, check out Harmon's Quest. Fantastic show. It has Dan Harmon
popping up. Yeah.
Dude, he's the guy I think that did Rick and Morty and Community. It's been a minute since I've seen some of the older seasons, but highly recommend it if you like that kind of stuff. So what animes have you been watching? Like, I'm interested to know your taste in the anime memes.
In the anime memes, let's see. I was cruising through One Piece, but I rewatched a whole bunch of old 90s anime that I used to watch on Toonami. So like Rurouni Kenshin, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Cyber 009, Dragon Ball. I was like, yeah, let's learn about things. Let's relive my childhood. But let's see. I watch Hero Mask so this is on Netflix. Hero Mask. What is it called? It's like Jaeger. The fuck. Jaeger? No. Serious Jaeger Project, I think. Oh yeah, no. Sirius the Jaeger. It's been a werewolf. People. Baki. He's really cool. Buff dude just beating the hell out of each other. Seven Deadly Sins, One Punch Man, The Beginning, K. But a really good one I started getting super into was Abandoned Sacred Beasts. It's To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. It's One Piece. I watched the gross one called High School DxD, which I was like, this is softcore porn. Whoa, getting out of here. Because there's some weird, crazy like harems. I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, holy shit.
See, that one's been on my list. I haven't started it yet, but I've been hearing good things.
Yeah, I loved it. Like, I started watching it and I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then they're like, oh, by the way, it's you can't take it seriously. It's kind of like purposely over the top. And I was like, oh. And I was like, this is way better. Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Naruto Shippuden, Hunter x Hunter, Sword Art Online.
I'm gonna go on a little rant. I hated the second half of season 1 of Sword Art Online.
Oh god, yeah, it was god awful.
Sucked.
They had such a good idea.
Kirito, I am your stepsister who's actually your cousin. Ha ha ha. It's like, really?
Yeah, they fucked that so bad, dude.
But like I stuck with it. I watched the rest of it. I watched Gun Gala. I watched the spin-off, and I started is it Ace, whatever the hell it is, whatever the new season is. but I haven't finished it yet just because I just haven't had the time. But I enjoyed what I've seen of that so far. I kind of like that whole Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. I've started rewatching Dragon Ball again because I mean it's a classic. I love that shit.
Yeah, you got it.
I watched started Bleach again because I've never really finished it. I got lost somewhere along the way. Me and my brother started watching it and we just kind of stopped watching it and forgot where we stopped watching it, so it's like we'll just rewatch it again.
I fully plan on rewatching Naruto and stuff, but I'm like, this might it might take a few years because I spent a very long time in my life watching Naruto.
So you're gonna do that Area 51 raid and run like Naruto?
God, no. Also, can I just go on the record and say that I hate Boruto? Like, I tried watching it and I was like, this is fucking film. Everyone's like, oh, it's so good, and I was like, no, I'm like, I want different. Literally, he on like the last like chapter 700 or whatever, he just was like, oh, by the way, these are everybody who's couples. And I'm like, what? None of these people make sense. And now they're like, oh, they have kids and basically take all their abilities from their parents and they don't matter and they just basically have the same powers as their dad. And I'm like, that's stupid. Like, make something a little bit different. Like, well, and Foster got this big argument with me. He's like, well, dude, that's how like genetics work. I'm like, no.
What, like fucking like, biology in Naruto? Yeah. Like, all right, class. You know, so when you fuck this ninja, you inherit their abilities.
He has shadow abilities, so his son's gonna have shadow abilities. I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be that. Literally the same techniques and everything. Like, I'm just like, Jesus, be creative. Be like, oh, he has shadow abilities, but only like this type. And since his mom like is from the Sand Village or whatever, he also has wind, so he can like send his shadows to different areas of the sorry.
See, I could never get into Naruto. Like, I tried and I've made fun of you for liking it, but at the same time I can't really do too much because I like some questionable things as well. But just like, I could never get into it. Like, I tried. Like, I watched it like on Toonami. I've gone back and watched some of it on the Funimation, not Funimation, probably Verb or Crunchyroll, whatever one has it on there. And it just I can't get into it, which sucks because I love like Dragon Ball Z and I like shit like that, like Yu Yu Hakusho, My Hero Academia, like all that stuff that Naruto kind of fits in with, and I just
I do like Naruto memes though. They still make me laugh my ass off. I'm like,
have you do you have Hulu?
Continue. I do.
Have you watched Letterkenny yet?
No, but I heard good things.
Dude, get on that. It's a fucking fantastic show.
I've heard great things about it.
It's basically Trailer Park Boys if Trailer Park Boys was good. Yeah, I shot my shot right there. That's another show I couldn't get into. Like, I tried. Our friend Albert.
Yeah, he loves Trailer Park Boys.
And then there was Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's another one that I did finally get into that, but it did take a while.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What's some other stuff? Oh my god, it's almost like 8 o'clock here and I haven't eaten dinner. I just had pie and beer.
It's 10:36 here.
My dinner's been 2 slices of pie and beer because I am a gross person. I really need to make something.
All right, so well, I guess we can start wrapping this up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want to throw a curveball at you because you and we've been texting, and we've been trying to hook up and chat for a very long time, and it is to discuss something that you and we both loved so much when we were in college. So I'm going to put this out on the table. Bring your A game.
Meowg. Sorry, that's probably pretty loud.
For those who don't know what that is, Ethan and we did a radio show in college called Bring Your A Game, which we reviewed video games and we talked news. It was fun, and I'm sure if you scour the interweb somewhere, you can find some of the episodes, at least some of the early episodes. But it's something we've been discussing a little bit, mostly me texting, hey, what time can you get on? And him being like, I work, I can't get on.
I work from 8 to 5 West Coast time.
Our schedules don't really mesh. But seriously, dude, I would love to do something. Bring Your A Game, bring it back, do something.
No, something was great, because I still, like, I have a video idea for YouTube where I've, like, re-listened through the old spots and shows that we did, because I think I texted you like forever ago. I was like, I just like 2 hours going through all the shows and promos that I had saved, and was just like, oh my god, like I was crying, I was laughing so hard, and trying to explain the promo where I birthed a Sega to people makes no. People are always like, what are you talking? I'm like, okay, I'm
do
like,
you still have that clip?
Hear it. Yeah, dude.
All right, Ethan, I'm going to need you to push.
Oh,
Deep breaths. Push. Harder. Harder. Oh, there it is.
What is it?
It's a baby.
How is that humanly possible, and where did it exit out
Hey,
of?
whoa. Can't talk about that on air.
I hurt.
What we can talk about is a Sega Genesis edition of Bring Your A Game, Wednesday, 12:30, here on 89.3 FM, WHSN.
We need a doctor!
Dude, I remember Mark. Do you remember Mark Nason? He was like, I am so glad that's over. He had it for the week. It was like, it was the grossest thing.
And my other favorite one, I forgot exactly what it was, but like I laughed so hard I fell out of the chair.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Why isn't my drive working? Activate. Drive things.
And then, what was another good one we did?
We did a whole bunch of ones where we did different voices and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was still salty as shit that they wouldn't let me do my Dragon Ball Z one.
I remember that.
But yeah, that's one of the things I've been wanting to do, is something under the Bring Your A Game banner. I know I'm just getting back to the Island Fish podcast, but I just have so many of these ideas in my head, and I'm finally finding some ambition to actually start doing some of them. Like I can't really say too much right now because I really don't have a lot of information. But besides this podcast, I'm starting to write another one, like a I guess an audio drama.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's another thing I want to do. Like I'm too ambitious. I guess is that like a humble brag?
Nah,
I'm too ambitious.
I'm just too fucking ambitious.
But like I have a lot, and that's my problem. I need to focus on one thing. Because I think that's where I get a little overwhelmed, and that's why I think sometimes I'll just kind of shut down and be like, okay, I have to stop doing this. But that's definitely, I want to do something under the Bring Your A Game banner, because it was a fun thing to do. I know I had a lot of fun doing it. Mm-hmm. And even after you left, when Kale jumped in, I still had a lot of fun doing it. And it's something I miss, and we need to do something.
Yes, I agree.
And maybe get Albie back on board.
That would be
stop
cool.
playing freaking Game of Thrones. Well, he's playing Game of Thrones episode. I can't see. Well, buddy, I just want to say it's been awesome talking to you. I've really missed doing this. I really miss talking with you. Miss doing podcast stuff. It's been fun.
I agree, man. It's been great. We should get back on it.
Definitely. Any last words? Any projects you want to plug? Anything you want to say?
Stay beautiful, and don't listen to the haters.
Want to thank everyone for listening to this episode of The Island Fish. Again, I'm not really sure if this is a reboot, season 2, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a mixture of everything. I want to thank Ethan for coming on and shooting the shit with me like old times. So, like I said earlier, new episodes are not dropping every week. It's going to be every 2 weeks. So the next one will probably be out on the 19th. Not really sure what the theme of the episode is. I know some of the later ones we're going to get into some serious topics. But you'll have to stay tuned for that. So from myself and from Ethan Roebuck, keep swimming. This has been The Island Fish.